Hello, parents and teachers. Jill Simonian from PragerU Kids here. I hope that you take this interview today and you share it with your children and you share it with your students because this is just really an inspirational and motivational talk and conversation that I want our young people to listen to. Because joining me today is Air Force Second Lieutenant Madison Marsh, who also happens to be Miss America. And I am so thrilled to meet you. Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
This is going to be fun. Okay, first of all, we were so excited when you won Miss America because we at PragerU Kids adore and support and love our military so much. And you're the first active duty service member to also serve as Miss America. So I want to know right off the bat, where does your love of country come from? Was there a moment in your childhood that you can remember and trace it back to?
I would say the biggest reason why I went into the military was actually because I had a dream to become an astronaut. And so I made this 30-year plan whenever I was in like the 8th grade of how I was going to achieve that goal. And one of the places that I wanted to go was into the military. But now, as I've grown up, I no longer want to be an astronaut. And so when you're in the military, you always have to have a purpose and a reason for putting on the uniform because it is tough. The Air Force Academy was extremely difficult, and you don't make it through unless you're there for the right reasons. And so I quickly had to figure out, why was I there? Why was I putting on the uniform? And really, the biggest thing for me is just what our flag and our uniform exemplifies. Every time you look at the American flag, every time you put on your uniform, to me, it's about the people that gave the ultimate sacrifice for us to be the country that we are. We would not be the same America without all of those that had come before us and had valiantly and respectfully worn our uniform. And I got to see that, firsthand. I went to Normandy last year, right after I had commissioned into the Air Force. And I also got to come again this year as Miss America. And really looking at those gravestones and also looking at those World War II veterans really just shows firsthand what I think of when I think of America, because they make us what we are. And we have to continue carrying that torch every day to being the great country that we are.
You're going to make me cry. I don't know if that's your intention, but as a mother, I am literally going to cry right now, but I'm going to try not to. The military training, as you mentioned, is no joke. I have never gone through it. I have never come close. I have the utmost admiration for people who do. But I imagine there were times when you were at that Air Force Academy that maybe you thought, oh my, what have I gotten into? What challenges did you face and how did you push through it and dig deep to find the resilience in you to keep going?
The biggest thing for me was I'd lost my mom about 6 months prior into joining the military. And having to go into that environment, keep in mind I had to move across the US to go by myself. So it was incredibly difficult because I'm showing up and you're getting yelled at all of the time because you're always doing something wrong as a basic right. And to be honest, like that first day when I showed up, I tried to quit. I called my dad and I said, I'm coming home. I'm not doing this anymore, even though this had been a dream that I'd worked for years. And my dad said, you can quit, but you can't come home to our house. And so I was like, all right, maybe I'll make it through. And so he kind of made a deal with me that I needed to finish basic training and then we could reassess whether or not I wanted to stay, because my dad didn't want to let me let go of this dream that I had so easily because things got tough. So after he made that deal with me, I made it through basic and I was like, now that I've made it this far, maybe I should try a semester. The first semester was really difficult. Grieving on top of all the pressures that you have as a freshman they were a lot. And so I started looking again to transfer schools. And then when the second semester had rolled around, I had found an amazing professor named Dr. Anderson. And he had really poured into me. He was the whole reason that I went physics for my major. And having friends there and people that I could lean on really was what got me through the days. And so finally it had slowly started to snowball into no longer thinking, oh, I can make it another semester to, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to leave in a semester.
Wow.
Because of the people that had stood beside me.
I love that. And for all of our parents and teachers, of course, who are part of our audience, let me just say the fact that your dad said, he got tough with you. I appreciate that. I respect that as a mom. And I really respect the fact, additionally, that you truly do honor your parents. I want to talk about the Whitney Marsh Foundation in a moment, but first I want to talk about honoring your parents because unfortunately, from my perspective, I look around on social media, in real life, out and about in the wild, so to speak, and I see so many young people who really do not honor their parents and honor their family. Do you notice the same thing, or am I crazy?
I mean, I feel like for me, I'm mostly focusing on the circles beside me because social media can get very opinionated. And I feel like sometimes what's the loudest voices might not necessarily be the biggest opinions. And so I feel like the best way to impact people is looking at the people beside me. And it's been so amazing. I'm engaged right now, and he was someone that I had met at the Air Force Academy. And our relationship of getting to be together, we both really value our family, we value our parents. And so that sort of home life and the connection that we have is something that we want to bring into our family life. And so it's been amazing to kind of impact our friends and family in that way and continue carrying how we were raised.
I love that. I love that. Tell me a little bit about the Whitney Marsh Foundation because you did mention you lost your mom at a very young age. Grief is Grief will immobilize any mature adult. And here you are, this young woman who had this tragedy happen in her family. Yet a lot of people look at you from the outside, especially young people, and say, wow, she's Miss America. She's a pilot. She's in the Air Force. And they think it's this picture perfect. But how did you cope and create this Whitney Marsh Foundation to help others through their cancer journey?
Yeah, and I kind of want to start off by saying that even from the outside, even though we did start the nonprofit and I've been able to overcome a lot of that, it definitely was never easy. I had struggled a lot. I mean, trying to quit the Air Force Academy, which was like a lifelong dream. I really struggled with mental health. I had turned away, pushed a lot of people away, and really struggled to try to find the light at the end of the tunnel, so to say, when I was going through that process. And so, a big thing that I started to pour into because I was just really at a loss of what I was going to do with my life after my mom was gone. And we knew that we wanted to make something good and positive come out of something that was such stricken with tragedy. And the best way that we thought that we could do it was by opening up the Whitney Marsh Foundation. So we could not only honor my mom's life and what she loved to do, but also hopefully bring that awareness, the research, and the money to a field that so desperately needs it. So we started that about 2 weeks after my mom passed away. Wow. And a big thing with my mom was she taught me what true strength looks like. I mean, if you can imagine, you've basically been given a death sentence with pancreatic cancer at the age of 41. The doctors have told you that there's nothing else that they can do. You're not eligible for surgery. There's no amount of treatments that they can do to save you. And my mom still got up, ran every day. She still got up and was kind to other people and still poured into our family. That is true strength. And we wanted to embody that at the Whitney Marsh Foundation. So the way that we raise money is every year we hold a 5K, 10K to get people doing something that my mom loves, getting active, but also being able to raise awareness. So we've given to national entities like MD Anderson, but we also try to give back to places in Arkansas and continue doing that research and the advocacy for the patients that need it the most. Because we understand not every patient is going to be able to go travel to the MD Andersons or the John Hopkins of the world. And we want to be able to bring in the South some of these good central locations for patients to get the care that they need. And also ensuring that I use my voice going to Capitol Hill, researching for more asking for more federal dollars when it comes to pancreatic cancer, because we're behind in that community. And we can't bring people all of the amazing new technology that's being researched across the world if we don't have the policy in place to get it to the patients, to get it to their families. And so that's what we work on at the Whitney Marsh Foundation day in and day out.
I am curious to find out. We're going to play a little game here. If you had to pick one, what is the most important quality that a young person can learn if you have to pick only one of these? Resilience, happiness, or courage? What is the most important quality that a young person needs to learn?
I would say happiness, because I feel like everything else falls underneath that. Because my mom passed away at such a young age, I saw that she had a significant loss of opportunities. I mean, she never got to see me or my siblings graduate from college. She's not going to get to be there on my wedding day. She's not going to get to live the full life that she wanted to live. And so for her, the importance of happiness is the key to everything. I mean, if she got to have an extra day here, she wouldn't be worrying about what other people thought about her. She would be worried and thinking about how she can be providing happiness not only for herself, but for the people that she loves around her. And if you can find happiness, that's how you find the resilience and the courage to keep going in life. My chase to live the life and the embodiment of what my mom got to have is the reason why I'm so passionate about the work that I do at the Whitney Marsh Foundation, because it brings me joy to bring joy to other people. I stay in the military because of the happiness and the fulfillment that it gives me. That's where I got my resilience from. And so having joy and confidence in your life that you are doing what you love is the way that you're going to get to live the fullest life. And really, that is the only thing that matters at the end of the day, because there are so many people that don't get to have that opportunity anymore, like my mom.
I happen to think happiness is a choice. Every day when we wake up, we choose to be happy through our challenges and through the situations that we're put in. We must choose to be happy. We live in a time now where different opinions and discussions about certain topics can get very contentious and polarizing. And I'm curious your advice for young people to maintain respect for others through diversity of opinion.
I mean, I really think that you always have something to learn from other people, even if you disagree with them. I mean, imagine the type of world that we would live in if everyone thought the exact same way,
Right.
and everyone attempted to solve problems in the exact same way. We probably would have achieved nothing.
Nothing.
As a world, nothing as a country. So the fact that we have the ability to have diverse thoughts and be able to have open and honest discourse and conversation is wonderful. That's how you learn. And also that's how you can even question of, okay, why do I believe the things that I believe? That's been a huge part of, obviously interviewing for a lot of scholarships, because I really had to think deeply of, why do I have the values that I have? Why do I believe the things that I believe in? And I think having those conversations really makes you question and think about that. And that's the way that you get to learn not only about others, but a lot about yourself. So being able to have that respectful and honest conversation is how you can achieve all of that.
Do you have any specific advice for young people, particularly those who may be in high school right now, who see everyone around them with a clear-cut path in front of them, yet they themselves don't quite know what direction they want their life to move in, whether to go to college or whether to go to work or whether to go into the military? What advice can you give those young people who haven't quite figured it out but feel the pressure to really figure it out?
I've kind of considered this like failing upward the past couple of years, and being able to take hold of every opportunity that's in front of you. I mean, for me, it was just, I didn't know what I was going to do now that I wasn't going the astronaut path anymore, but I knew that I was still going to give 110% in school to ensure that I had every door still open for me. And what ended up happening was, since I had chased down that path of astronaut and then ended up changing and saying, oh my gosh, I have no clue what I'm going to do with my life now, I still went for scholarships like the Truman Scholarship. I'm a Truman Scholar. I was a National Rhodes finalist. And because of those opportunities, that's why I'm now getting to switch gears and go to Harvard to study policy and pancreatic cancer.
Wow.
Without giving yourself those opportunities and being honest and open about everything, that's how you're going to be able to achieve whatever you want, regardless if you know your path or not.
You mentioned all those goals and the trajectory that you're on. And I want to remind people that I want to get this right. You earned your civilian's pilot license at the age of 17. Any 17-year-old that I know would be so scared to do that. Were you, I have to ask you, and be honest, were you scared?
I mean, it's scary, but honestly, flying a plane like that is kind of like driving a car. And I think it's less scary in a way, because when you're driving a car, you've got cars coming all around you. If the same thing is happening while you're flying a plane, you're probably doing something wrong. Or you're flying in formation, but you're probably not going to be doing that at such a young age. So when you're just doing like normal civilian intro aviation, it is a lot less scary than people think. Unless, I guess, you have a fear of heights, then I can see it would be kind of scary.
I don't know, Madison. You have a heck of a lot more courage than most of us adults do. I think you're incredible. I'm curious to know what your goals are for after you serve as Miss America, because we know that Miss America is not the final destination. It's really part of your journey. So what are your goals after your year of service for Miss America is done?
I'm really excited to go back to Harvard next January. So immediately after giving up my title, I'm going to start school again for my master's degree in public policy at the Kennedy School. So I've got a year and a half left in that. One of the main focuses that I do for policy is pancreatic cancer. So getting to do that research with the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and Harvard Medical School. I want to be able to pour in not only with my personal story, but with the medical understanding to bring the best for patients. And I'll still be getting to serve as an Air Force officer. So we'll see however long that is, because I'm really there to continue serving and also having the understanding that my family does come first. So my fiance is in the Air Force right now, so we get to serve together. And the biggest thing for us is continuing to serve, but also understanding that our family life is always going to be number one. And so we'll see how long I'll get to serve for. I mean, the Air Force has so many incredible opportunities that I'm excited to see where it goes. And then afterwards, I'll be so excited to continue doing pancreatic cancer work, because I think that is what's going to end up being my lifelong work while I'm in and out of the military.
We have about 1 minute left, but for someone who might be on the fence, whether or not they want to join the military, what are your words for them?
I would say to join because you're passionate, because the military is in need of leaders that are wanting to do the job, that are prepared to do tough things, be resilient, and stand beside other people. I want people to join the military because they're passionate about our country, because at the end of the day, the people that serve are going to be the ones that might be going overseas and serving alongside my soon to be husband, my people that I graduated the Air Force Academy with, and so many other people that have families and lives. So you want people that are passionate about what they do, because when you're passionate, that's when you do your best work. And those are the types of people that I want joining our military.
Oh, well, we're so thankful for all that you do in our military, and we're thankful for your fiance. Congratulations. I wish you a wonderful wedding.
You.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you do, for your service, for your example. And I'm also proud of you for honoring your mom and your family. That's on a personal note. God bless you, Madison Marsh. Thank you for all that you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you.
Thank you. It was great to meet you. For all of you listening, if you have not subscribed to PragerUkids.com yet, hundreds of free videos and resources to help our kids learn all of those classic American values: hard work, responsibility, service, liberty, equality, love of country, everything that Miss America, Miss Madison Marsh represents. Thank you. See you next time.